I'm Jeanette with Trade Hounds here at NECA 2025 in Chicago, and I am super excited to be sitting next to Kevin Martinez, aka KSPARKY, who is not only an electrician but also an amazing influencer that I have the privilege of working with at Trade Hounds. So, Kevin, tell everybody, what are you doing at NECA this year?
What's going on, guys? My name's Kevin Martinez. Today, this year at NECA, we're just enjoying the show. We got to work with a few companies here, going and doing our thing. Obviously, content creation, which is a different field, but we get to do a little bit of everything, network, meet our friends, and just hang out, enjoy NECA.
So, while you're walking on the expo floor, I see a lot of brands I know you work with. So, talk to us a little bit about this experience for you, because you're an electrician. So, I imagine it's kind of cool to see all the products here and all the things that are here, but you're also working with a lot of these manufacturers. So, tell me a little bit about what you do with these companies.
So I work a lot really close with the top tier companies, I believe, and that's how I see them at this point. They're pretty much the companies that are in every job site. Every job site you go to, you're gonna see these companies, whether we name it Greenlee, Milwaukee, Ideal, Fluke, Kinetics, all of them. So I've gotten the opportunity to work with them pretty close for the past few years. And honestly, all of them are pretty different as far as the way that they work, what they want to highlight as far as their companies. So I'm privileged enough to either work with them creating content if they want to highlight either a new tool, a new feature in their app, for example, or something that's coming up in the market pretty soon that's going to change the way electricians work in the next upcoming years. So we just try to promote. I mean, we're the ones that are out there in the field every day using these actual tools, and they take criticism pretty serious, as in something that they want to better their tools or their brand. So being honest with them as far as like how we can use that tool, if we would actually use the tool or not. So I just get to go around and enjoy myself and try out new tools.
And we have worked on a few projects together, which I'm so happy to say that we've gotten time to work together. And one of them, we worked with a Siemens product that you did, and it's like, that's one of my favorite videos. You did such a good job. And I love, like, with this video, but all the videos you do really, you do such a good job of explaining like how to use it in your own language, and you are an electrician. You sound like an electrician, you look like an electrician. And so one of the things we were just talking about you with the Siemens crew is like, it's so valuable for them to be able to have a video like the one that you created to talk about their new in-house product, for example, because the people who are watching these videos, I think, would probably way rather watch you install it and you show them and you teach them things. And I love like advertising, I really do. Like, I come from that world where I love editing, but I know the authenticity part is so important, and it's such a valuable thing that you have to offer to these companies. So, like, talk to me a little bit more about like, what is it like being an influencer, where you still have to be yourself, right? You can't like sell out, because then people won't believe you anymore. But you also have to work with the different manufacturers, and I think maybe toe that line to be professional content creator as well. So, what is that like for you?
Well, like you said, we fall in both parts, but I believe, I mean, I've been electricians for almost 11, 12 years, so we kind of gained that respect as far as always trying to do a good job as far as installations. Now, when we go to working with these brands, like you say, we're showing that from either opening the box to install the actual product and how to use it. So using the language that electricians know, and also kind of narrow it down to where a homeowner will understand what we're doing, right? And the installation, as far as keeping following up to NEC code, for example, sometimes you see these videos on YouTube, on wherever network you're using or platform, and you see other people kind of doing it wrong, and nobody is telling them things, but now the homeowner is going to go to that video and learn from that, right? So we try to just show people the way that we work, the way that we've came up on this field, doing things the right way, not cutting corners, installing everything the right way. And like you say, we get to work with brands where we're able to show the product from opening from the box to how it works. And I think they love it, and being able to explain it too, because we understand what is it that is doing to the system, whether it's a panel or breaker. And like, I think we asked also Siemens one of the questions, right? Because something doesn't match or add up, right? So we're able to catch on those things and bring it up to them, which I believe like a regular homeowner wouldn't have, right? So on how to program something and hey, this doesn't add up as far as like when you install it, right? What is it gonna cost to the homeowner? So being able to give your feedback to on what you think of the product. So I think it's really great too.
And you have a lot of experience, obviously. You're a licensed electrician and also you just got your contractor's license too, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So you're like a real pro at this. But you also do a very good job of like communicating things in the way that not just like other electricians, but also younger electricians who maybe are entering the field can understand. And they may be more likely to follow you on Instagram or on Trade Hounds or on Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or whatever than they would a manufacturer, especially if they're new to the trade. They may not even know about all the manufacturers yet because maybe they haven't even entered the field yet. Maybe they're looking to get into it. And I know you do a lot of work with younger people who are just starting to enter the trade. So tell us a little bit about like all the work that you're doing with apprentices.
I feel we have always been close to apprentices and they've always kind of looked up or try to follow the path that we've been on. And I always try to be like a good role model, just be the person that I aspire to be, whether it's working inside the field or outside. So we work close with them as far as what to do right when you join the apprenticeship. Yeah, a lot of people see all these brand deals, things like that, but you got to understand we also started from not knowing anything about the electrical field. We did things the right way as far as going to school, getting our journeyman's license, then from there getting our contractor's license. So schooling for all those things, just teaching them on what to do, how to get in the field. A lot of these kids are coming out of high school. They don't have that, you know, person telling them what to do. They don't have maybe a father figure, somebody that's in the trades. Maybe they join the trades because of their uncle. So we try to really communicate with them and try to tell them on how to do it. Even though sometimes, obviously, we get busy ourselves, but I always try to guide them in the right direction as far as doing things, going to school for the trades, because obviously it's not like high school where you just go to high school and you're an electrician, right? So there's different ways to do it. Every state's different, but I'm really happy that a lot of them take the steps to want to be an electrician. And I meet a lot of them that tell me that they joined the trade because of me, which to me is crazy because I would have never thought that I could inspire people that way. So to do so, it's a great opportunity. Like it really makes me happy to have them follow in those steps. And even though they might have that figure at home, that they can also like follow us on social media and see what we're doing and see that it can also be fun. It doesn't have to be always the trades, right? We talk about blue collar always being a job that nobody wants to do, but it really becomes to be fun once you learn it. It's kind of like fluent at anything that you do installing. And yeah, I hope more people, the younger generation, jumps on it.
And I also love that your content is so compelling for like people to see and learn about the trade. So I think it's really awesome. Like I'm sure you've inspired a ton of people to get into the trades, and something we talk about all the time at Trade Hounds and a lot of times with the manufacturers and the distributors and everybody we work with is like the job shortage and the electrician shortage, and it's incredible how all of us kind of as a community who are in this field need to work to recruit more young people into the industry because a lot of older people are retiring and we're not replacing them fast enough. And so I think what you're doing is just amazing to like make it more visible and maybe get people who maybe you pop up in their feed and they maybe didn't even consider becoming an electrician. And that's so cool that you're making it really easy for people who are younger to like be exposed to something that maybe they didn't have like any exposure to at home, which I just applaud you for. Something that like a lot of the partners that I meet with, and we talk about this all the time, and it's like a lot of us like adults that aren't electricians, we sit around a table and we're like, what can we do to reach these kids? So we should be asking people like you and other younger people as well, like, what do you think like everybody could be doing differently? Like obviously you're solving this problem already, which is so amazing. Like, is there anything else that like as an industry, like any of us, the manufacturers, the distributors, the contractors could be doing to like recruit more people into this industry?
I feel a lot of brands are already reaching out to apprenticeship programs and kind of sponsoring them and showing them that they can be there for apprentices. But also, obviously, doing high school, I think trying to get to the young generation earlier on when they're barely like fresh into like, they haven't even thought about what they're going to do when they get out of high school, right? So that's when you want to talk to the younger generation because I feel like once they finish high school, then they're on their own, right? Some people try to figure out whether they want to go to college. I mean, I've gone to college myself for 3 years as far as a full-time student. And I mean, despite life, right, things didn't work out. But for them, sometimes they don't have the option. They didn't know they could be an electrician, they could be in the trades. Maybe they're good with their hands and they never knew that, right? But that's where I feel companies should more focus more on, like high school students and how can they benefit to go to what they do nowadays, like trade shows, also like maybe in high schools, the walkthrough programs, right? Where they're showing them what to do. So not only focusing the apprenticeship programs where kids are already in there working on their trade, but also seeing how can they get their communities that are not in those programs yet and get more people involved. Because like you say, there's a lot of people retiring and not a lot of like supply and demand, right? We got more apprentices coming. So now these apprentices are coming into the trades who don't know anything about the trade. And this older generation that didn't want to teach these kids, well, now they're leaving. So who's teaching all these kids, the trade, the way of the trade of how to install things? There's a lot of things that fall in the trades as far as even as an electrician from doing branch, working in electrical rooms. And for me, I had the great opportunity to work with older people and them teaching me where I kind of made my own style of working. And, like now I get to teach all these younger generations. But yeah, I mean, I feel for companies, if they do so, I think it'll be a great opportunity for them and also getting more people in the trades.
How did you find out about the trades? Like, were you exposed to it by your family members or anything growing up, or?
So my dad has always been like in the trades as a blue collar. He's a glazer, which is a window installer. He does anything from commercial to residential. You're talking storefronts to showers to windows, anything like that. But I always mention it because even though as a young kid, I would go to jobs with him and I would just goof around. Like I was never interested in the trades. Even me going to college as a full time, I was never thinking of me working with my dad. I was just go do it for fun or for some money, right? And then just go back to school. I don't think it was until fell into being a driver for a electrical company, and I would go to job sites every day, see kids in the field, and my mentality was, well, if he's doing it, like I can do it too, right? So I started asking questions like, hey, how can I get in the apprenticeship? Like, what is the apprenticeship? And next thing you know, the guy at the office was like, you want to be in an apprenticeship? Here's the test. I'll have you in a job in like a month. And that was it. Like, started doing electrical. I told my dad if I should stay or work with him. He said, well, you're already in electrical, so let's see where it goes. And now I talked to my dad and I was like, it's crazy. Like, he's like, yeah, like, look at where you are now. Like, and if you would have never started, you would have never known. And now he actually drives me to the airport every time I go on these events because he's like, him and my mom are really like inspired that like I continue to do this and I can motivate other people and the opportunities that I get to like work with these companies. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I was just a college student doing business admin and graphic design,
Oh, cool.
playing
I didn't know
soccer.
that.
And now it's like I get to come to these events, work with a lot of great content creators, and have opportunities that I would have never had if I haven't gone into this field.
I didn't know you were in school for graphic design.
Yeah, I love graphic design. I always try to like work on Photoshop or do my videos. That's kind of like where the
That's why
video
you're so
comes.
good at your videos, I bet. Too.
Yeah,
You
and
have the
I'm
eye.
really techie when it comes to like the videos, photos. That's why I'm always like ask for your help. But having that mentality, I always have that eye to make content storytelling. So a lot of people transition obviously into the whole video rhythm now. But yeah, I mean, I've always loved it, so it just, I guess, like it falls together, the electrical, the
That's
content
great.
creation.
You could apply that, what
Yeah.
you learned in school, to what you're doing now with like the video creation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I love the like art, stuff like that.
Well,
So
you're very good at it.
that's why I'm saying like I feel like I can relate to a lot of people because I've been there, right?
Yeah.
From the high school to the college, and trying to graduate out of college and I was doing pretty good. I mean, I left with like 60 something units, like 69, which it's like, yeah, I could always like get my certificate, but again, life happens, and sometimes you don't plan for things. And yeah, I mean, I left, but again, the electrical, I never see it as a setback. So it's like
You
something.
probably make more money now than you would
Yeah,
have as a graphic designer,
I do
actually.
honestly, as a lot of like the friends that went to college. So it's also like a different way to looking at it. There's always more things that you can do. So nothing wrong with being just a regular journeyman. You also always work your 40 hours. But again, something that I preach a lot, whether it's the trades, you can always make more money, whether you're doing side jobs or like me, getting your own license, right? To like do things the right way. And you can always keep growing, whether you want to be in the job site as a working with your hands, being in the office as a PM, anything, right? A lot of people, they don't like the field, and they end up falling into the office, like working inside the office. So nothing wrong with that, but obviously there's different ways that you can look into the blue collar job, obviously.
Did you know that this industry, like electrical, was going to be as lucrative as it is? Like, it's kind of crazy because I never knew how much electricians made, and I didn't even think about it. And now you're like, oh, that's a very good career.
Yeah.
Like, did you know that when you were younger? Is that like was that one of the factors that made you decide to go into becoming an electrician?
Yeah, I think so. It was a big factor because I had done everything from 90-day jobs. I mean, I used to work at Baskin Robbins when I was like right after high school. Like you
I
think
worked at
about it,
Jamba Juice.
Jamba Juice. Like we all have those jobs. So it's either I work at those agencies, I worked at Party City, you name it. But when I saw electrical field in my head, I was like, that's a career. That's something where I'm gonna get a race every year, work up to be a journeyman, and I knew I was gonna make way more money than trying to do a either career out of college. So for me, it was just that giveaway of what I wanted to do and pursue.
I feel like we need to do a better job of like telling young people like how much money you actually make, because I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, I'll go to college because that's how you make more money. It's like not all the jobs that you get, depending on the degree, like are going to make a lot of money actually in electrical. It's like it's kind of crazy how much money you make in electrical versus a lot of the people who go to college for 4 years and then they have debt, a lot of school debt. Whereas I've heard like a lot of the apprentices, like they'll leave their apprenticeship programs and not have any debt and they'll be ready to work and they'll make a lot more money. So then they get even farther ahead. And I don't know if we like do a good enough job of telling that story to younger people to like compel them to consider this as a trade. I don't know if there's anything else we could be doing. I mean, obviously you're doing a great job, and we have the compare your pay feature in the app, which I think helps because then you can be like, you can actually look to see like not just how much you could make, but like should you be moving to somewhere else that pays like twice as much?
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
that's an option.
I feel a lot of people don't ever want to share what their income is, right?
Yeah, you can
But
find it on the Trade Hands app for, and then
yeah,
nobody has to. It's
but now in the
anonymous.
app, you guys are
Yeah,
providing that, and you will find out. I mean, I make good money, but I know there's linemen make great money. That's one like for sure everybody knows. Now you're a travel electrician as well. You can make more money. So it just depends how much are you trying to sacrifice and put into your career to like where you want to make to be comfortable. So definitely it's something that a lot of people can look more into before they look into trades. And I feel like if you bring it up, I mean, it's something that I bring up to the people that I talk one on one. That what are you doing right now? And are you okay making that amount of money to like, I just purchased my house, like last year.
congratulations, by the way.
So, like, what do you want to do? Where do you see yourself? So I'm always pushing people as far as the number wise. Like, okay, maybe you not don't like working with your hands, but it is a career. It's something that's gonna be with you for the rest of your life. So that's another plus as well.
And it is evolving a lot too. Like it's becoming more digital, and like we were just visiting a bunch of students, apprentices in Texas, and we were doing like these really cool I don't know if you've seen these like tablets where the Siemens products actually they work with Built, and there's like 3D instructions and like really cool stuff. And then we did like the Apple Vision Pro headsets where you can learn how to like assemble something in like VR or XR. And I feel like it's becoming a lot like people want to work in the field obviously, like you can do fun hands-on stuff and you'll always do that for electrical. But I think maybe one of the other recruitment tools we could do is show like there's a lot of other stuff that's more technical. That's if you like video games, or if you like, I saw these things on Instagram recently. There were people who I saw with VR headsets on, and they were controlling like heavy equipment
Oh yeah.
from a like remote location. So I was
Crazy.
telling my nephew that the other day. I was like, you love playing video games all day? Like, you should look into that as a job. Like, you just get to sit there and wear a headset and like control the
The
equipment.
big machinery, yeah.
I just think it's so cool. And so it's becoming even like you're getting even more options than you would have before. I think that's like something I thought we should do a better job of like showing young people that like there's some cool advancements in this field.
There's a lot of like cool professions like crane operator, you're saying big machinery operators, and that people are not aware of, especially the young generation. So hopefully, they ask questions and they're able to find that route in their life too.
Well, is there anything that we haven't talked about? We'll be sharing this, of course, with our Trade Hounds community and like all over social media. Anything that you want people to like know about, or anything we didn't talk about that you want to talk about?
Just perhaps mention that it's never too late. It's never too late to start, to change your career, to find something that you really enjoy. I feel like I talk to a lot of people, not only young generation, obviously that's always the people you're trying to kind of show and motivate because they're a little bit lost, but there's also older people who are struggling to find a career that they like. They're currently in a job that they do not enjoy, that where they're not making money, where they're just trying to work their 40 hours and they hate it. So just knowing that it's never too late to start on the field, and whether you really want to, it's worth it because, like we say, at the end of the day, you make good money to able to feed your family, and don't let it be a distraction on motivator as far as like, whoa, I can't be an electrician because I'm already 35. Like that shouldn't be. There's guys that I see that are way older and way hungrier than these kids, and they're the guys that stay until the end of the job, because they're so on it as far as want to proceed and learn and grow in this trade, So that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kevin. It's always nice to see you. I love running into you at Nika, and I love getting to work with you in between all of the fun events too. So
Yeah, likewise.
stay tuned.
Thanks
Connect
for having
with
me.
KSPARKY on all the socials. We'll get lots of awesome content. Thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you.
Yeah, shout out to everyone from Trade Hunts for the whole team. Hope to see you guys soon, and good luck with everything. Make sure you guys download the Trade Hunts app.
That's right.